futures are red across the board here ahead of Tuesday morning's open. S&P futures down 0.46%. The Dow futures down 0.28%. That's being affected by Home Depot, which is down slightly. And the NASDAQ futures down 0.8 or 0.8%. Let's take a look at some cues from last session and what's going on here today. Energy, financial, and consumer staple stocks recorded the biggest gains on Monday, as most S&P 500 sectors closed on a positive note. Meanwhile, information technology and industrial stocks closed the session lower. U.S. stock futures were lower as the NASDAQ 100 index fell on Tuesday following Monday's mixed close. Inflation fears gripped Wall Street as Ed Yardeni anticipates an imminent policy shift, noting that the recent CPI and PPI data suggest the Fed is currently, quote, behind the curve on inflation, end quote. Let's see if that's a new term that enters the zeitgeist. He expects the central bank to completely drop its easing stance and adopt a tightening bias at its upcoming June meeting, followed by a 25 basis point rate hike in July. Meanwhile, the 10-year Treasury bond yielded 4.6%, and the 2-year bond was at 4.06%. The CME Group's Fed Watch Tool projections show the markets are pricing in a 98.8% likelihood of the Federal Reserve leaving the current interest rates unchanged during the June meeting. Now, again, that's during the June meeting. That's actually come down 1% from the last reading that we took. Ed Yardeni just gave you an insight that he thinks July might be the meeting that something gets moved and the direction has changed from the rate cut to a potential rate hike. So we'll see how that shakes out over the next several weeks here. Now, we've got several stocks in focus here for you today. The first one is going to be XP Inc. The ticker is XP. And it was 6% lower in the pre-market on Tuesday as it reported worse than expected first quarter financial results. The company also named Gustavo Alejo Vivani as CFO starting on August 3rd. The next stock on our list is going to be Akamai. Ticker is AKAM, and it declined 2.5% after announcing plans to commence a $1.3 billion senior notes offering. The next stock on our list is going to be Atmos Energy, and the ticker is ATO, and it jumped 10.13% following its strong second quarter earnings with a net income of $581.9 million and raised its annual dividend by 14.9%, $4 per share. Big jump there in the dividend. The next stock on our list is going to be General Electric, which is ticker GE. And it was up 0.17% as Japan Airlines signed a 10-year maintenance and overhaul deal with GE Aerospace to cover its Boeing 787 fleet. The last stock on our list is going to be Toll Brothers, and the ticker on this one is TOL. It declined 0.13% as analysts expected to report earnings of $2.58 per share on revenue of $2.41 billion after the closing bell today.